Podcast Tuesday. I am Hannah, your presenter. We set up a poll last week on what theme you would like. You, the listeners, voted for the Normans and the Battle of Hastings. Let's set the scene. Edward the Confessor is king. In 1066, Edward dies. On Thursday, the 5th of January. The English throne is vacant. Harold Godwinson, the Earl of Wessex, is crowned literally hours after Edward's death, as he promised Harold the throne on his deathbed. Podcast Tuesday, do.
Have a Sprite and cheer for Sonia.
Welcome back to Podcast Tuesday. Podcast Tuesday, do. Across the channel, Duke William of Normandy was surprised to see Harold as king, as Edward said that he could be king. When Edward spent some time over in Normandy in 1051, as well as Harold swearing an oath, William wasn't happy.
A new price drop at Tesco is here, and we've dropped the price of white bread, flatbread, garlic bread, granary bread, chocolate croissant, chocolate brioche, chocolate mousse, chocolate fudge cake, chocolate gâteau, mushroom soup, lentil soup, chicken soup, broccoli and Stilton soup, sliced beef, sliced ham, sliced chicken, sliced salami, ice cream, whipping cream, clotted greens,
A new price drop at Tesco. Every little helps. Prices reduced on at least one product bespoke and line. Selected UK stores and availability.
cocoa, chicken wings, Cajun chicken wraps, Skull cannon.
Podcast Tuesday, do. It's August. William is ready to battle and invade, but the weather wasn't good enough. The wind was in the wrong direction. Listen to part 2 tomorrow. It's about the battles and William's reign. Podcast Tuesday, do. Welcome back to Podcast Tuesday. Podcast Tuesday, do. I am your presenter, Hannah. This is about the Battle of Hastings. By August, Harold was ready to defend his country as there was a chance William could invade, even though fighting didn't seem imminent. Harold's army had returned to their homes to help with the harvest. Podcast Tuesday, do.
First question in today's quiz: what do you call a man with ludicrous amounts of cash?
Billionaire!
Right. And where could you easily save some of that preposterous fortune in a matter of minutes?
Go compare! It would be crackers to waste your acres. So just thank your stars you can go compare.
Yes. Question 3. What would you not like to find in your wardrobe?
Grizzly bear!
Podcast Tuesday, do. Lustig, Harold's half-brother, formed an alliance with the King of Normandy, Harald Hardrada. They were prepared to conquer England in order to claim the throne. By mid-September, it was clear they had joined forces and were heading to York. Podcast Tuesday, do.
Deep in the hills of Japan, mystical Yakult was discovered by an ancient order of holy men.
Oh, stop
Who
it.
imbued it with magical properties that gave the Yakult mysterious powers that allows
I'm serious. There's no magic involved.
magic.
Right, that's enough from you. It was developed by Japanese scientists with unique bacteria, scientifically proven to reach the gut alive. No magic necessary.
Magic.
Nope. Yakult. A little bottle of science, not magic.
Podcast Tuesday, do. The winning Fulford Gate and Stamford Bridge, Harold marched his army south to where William had landed. He had finally gotten the favourable wind conditions that he needed. There was going to be a battle. The Battle of Hastings. Podcast Tuesday, do. Of William's supplies and men had been waiting since early August to set sail towards the south coast of England. On the morning of the 28th of September, the boats and William had landed in the south of England, and he moved his forces towards Hastings. unaware that Harold had defeated Hardrada. King Harold heard that William was landing whilst he was celebrating the victory of Fulford Gate and Stamford Bridge. In response to this, he decided to march his men down to the south coast to fight. 200 miles were covered in 1 week. Even though Harold's army was strengthened by reinforcements gathered on the way, many of the men were exhausted by this time they'd marched to London. Harold's army camped for the night on the ridge where the Battle Abbey now stands. At around 9 o'clock the following day, the 14th of October, William attacked. Podcast Tuesday, do.
Or at a restaurant just after a meal. The bill comes.
Sir, here's your bill.
Oh my gosh, it's a whopping amount. You pass it on to the next person. He passes it on and on. Why? Nobody likes unpleasant surprises. Well, why should you? With the new Huts Delight meals, you won't get any surprises in your bill. Just pure value. Enjoy your favourites every day, from pizzas, pastas to sides and drinks, from as low as 14 ringgit per person. Available for dine-in only.
Podcast Tuesday, do. The battle lasted from 9 a.m. till dusk. The early efforts from William's army had little effect. The English had shield walls protecting them from arrows. After the Normans had thought that William was dead, they retreated. The English pursued them. After William had told the men in a big speech that he wasn't dead, the Normans chased after the English, breaking the shield wall. Near the end, Harold was killed by an arrow being shot in his eye. The Normans had won. They built an abbey to bury the soldiers of Harold's army in, and made a massive pillar thing for Harold. The abbey was to be called the Battle Abbey after the battle that had been there. William was crowned on Christmas Day in 1066. Many of the Anglo-Saxons didn't like this, as he was a Norman and they were Anglo-Saxon. William decided to change a lot of things. He changed most of the earls into Norman earls, including 3 earls called the Marcher Earls in the border of Wales to stop them from rebelling. There was also a revolt which didn't really work by the Anglo-Saxons who didn't like Norman reign. William wasn't liked much by the Anglo-Saxons. This episode is brought to you by English Heritage. English Heritage cares for over 400 historical monuments, buildings and sites. Through these, we bring the story of England to life for over 10 million visitors each year. A contribution from the sale of this product helps us secure a spectacular and unique heritage for future generations to enjoy. Please visit www.englishheritage.org.uk. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Podcast Tuesday. Please vote in our poll, which will be coming out in a few hours. Thank you and